Tara has some things happen in her life she wants to share with everybody. She knows it will impact your life. And just pray that you get something out of it. Just focus on what she's got to say, guys. Just listen to it. You about ready to go? Can you see it? Can you see it now? All right. Can we leave you alone? Yeah, okay, I'll leave you alone. You need this microphone?
Bear with me, I'm a little nervous about this, so growing up as a child.
Now, Trev.
Okay, great. Growing up as a child, we all have our own hopes and dreams and goals for ourselves. Things we like to accomplish and do in life, and things we all think are very important to us because they're our own. But what you may not know is they can all be taken away and changed in the blink of an eye. That's all it takes sometimes to have them seem all out of your reach. I don't know if any of you have heard Mr. Glazer's testimony on Sunday, but it was amazing, and it made me think of myself in many different ways. In one way, he really pointed out perfectly that on those certain dates, things really stick out to you, that you wish that you forget, but that you never can. Mine is March 4th, because on March 4, 2009, I was on my way home from church in Huntsville and hanging out with some friends. I had just dropped off the last person and was on my way home when I had a car accident. Actually, about 3 minutes from here. I drove a gray Mazda Tribute and I flipped it going around a slight curve. Mr. Meadows found me that night and I was med-flighted to Huntsville Hospital. My injuries were pretty bad, so bad actually one of the EMTs that first saw me told me that he didn't think I was going to make it. A couple of other people from the fire department said the same thing. I had several injuries. I broke my neck. I fractured my skull. I had a deep contusion on my head that ran from my forehead back past my crown. I crimped one of my main arteries in my neck. I knocked out my front teeth. I fractured some facial bones. They also had to shave my head and I wasn't able to move my left arm. I was on a breathing machine for most of the stay, and also they almost had to put a trach in me. I was in Huntsville Hospital for 3 weeks and was in a coma for the first 48 hours. After I was able to leave the hospital, I went directly to children's rehab in Atlanta for 10 days. I found out here why my arm wasn't moving. They told me I had a brachial plexus injury. I had to go through some painful tests and the results weren't good. I had to learn to walk, to talk, and to use my hand properly again. I had so many people come to see me when I was in the hospital, people that I didn't know. Some people came and prayed over me and my family while I was there in the intensive care unit. I had 3 very best friends that they allowed to come back to see me because my mom was afraid I wouldn't want anyone else to see the way that I looked. I had so much medication and pain medicine going through me that I don't remember very much of the time of the hospital and nothing about the day of my wreck. I was told that I should be thankful for that, but a part of me does wish that I could remember. I've been through a lot, and I wouldn't ever wish any of what I've been through on my worst enemy, but the fact that I'm able to be here today to tell my story is God's grace to me and a miracle. For a while, no one knew if I would make it or not, but God was with me that night, and He was with me and my family day and night in the hospital. He kept me going when all I wanted to do was give up. I wasn't always positive about what happened to me. I had times I wanted to give up on life because it was too hard and I felt hopeless. I wanted to quit my life and everything. I didn't want to live my life this way forever. I figured if I couldn't be what I considered normal, then I didn't want to be, and I didn't want to live at all. I mean, it just wasn't fair. Why me? Why did I have to go through this? I wasn't a bad person. I didn't do bad things. So why was this all happening to me? This was my start of a severe depression and thoughts of suicide. I mean, I had plans and dreams in my life, but at that moment when I realized that how badly I was hurt, they all seemed so far away. I was supposed to be someone and do things, especially my senior year. That was supposed to be my year for softball and volleyball. I was going to give my absolute all and lay it all on the line. I was going to be better than I ever had before. I was going to bust it to be the best I could. Have fun while I can, while I'm young. I mean, it was my senior year after all. But my plans became completely different. I couldn't do those things anymore. I was hurt and practically kept in a bubble, so I didn't get hurt even worse. Plus, I was embarrassed of how I looked, so I didn't want to attend those things anymore. I want you all to realize just how far God has brought me. So much further than many doctors ever said I could come. Yes, I still have a ways to go until I'm completely well, but I know that God has a plan for me because He saved my life. Not because I deserved it. Because let me tell you now, I wasn't the best person. I didn't deserve His grace. But that's what grace is. We receive it even when we don't deserve it. But God has a plan for me to do, in His name. Whatever this may be, I want to be ready for whatever He has planned. You may not see the true miracle of how I'm still here today and how I know He still has a plan for my life. But think about it. I was out at 10:30 at night, going down the back road, John Sutton actually, going home when I had this wreck. There so happened to be a man outside with his wife walking their dog at 10:30 at night. These people were actually first responders, which means they know how to treat someone with a broken neck. Because if he had moved me the wrong way, I could have been paralyzed or it could have killed me. I don't believe those things just happened. No, that was God. No doubt in my mind, God saved my life. He was in the car with me that night. I will never be able to thank Him or Mr. Meadows enough for what He done for me as long as I live. Isn't it sad that it took something as close and as awful as almost dying to bring you closer to God? It is sad, but it's true that I am much closer to God than I was. It's amazing that I received another chance to live, to better my life, to become closer to the Lord. Yes, I was saved, but I wasn't living the way that I should or trying to get closer to Him, which we should be trying to do every day. I was being lukewarm in my faith. I was just going around day by day, saying my prayers, going to church, but my heart wasn't in it. I lost that fire I had for God. I was going to church to see my friends and to socialize. And that is the wrong reason to go, because your heart is not in it, and you should not be going, and you should be going for God, not yourself or others. So I have been to several doctors. They all told me that I had this or that messed up. They said that I would never be able to do this or that again. Not one of those doctors told me that I would come as far as I have. The doctors told me that I would never be able to use my left arm again. Talk about breaking someone's heart. They must not know just what my God can do. I have more movement in my arm than I have ever had, or thought that I would. It's been 4 years since my wreck. I don't have full usage or mobility in it, but I'm going to say that I don't yet, because I don't think God is finished with me yet. About a year and a half after my wreck, I stopped progressing as much. I became down in the dumps about it. My faith started to get weak. I knew God could help me and change my situation at any moment, and I still do. I just couldn't understand why He wasn't helping me anymore. What was He waiting for? I wanted things to happen now, because those of you who know me really well know that I'm not the most patient person. But God's time is almost always different from our own. We have to have faith that He has a plan and it's better than our own. But during this time, I still love God and prayed to Him to heal me all the time. My biggest prayer was that my arm to start working. I just really wanted to be able to move it. So I would sit there and strain every working muscle in my arm and focus on my hand in hopes it would move, but it never did. I couldn't do it. So one day after school, I went to my sister's house to let her dog out. It was the first day that it started feeling like fall to me. The wind was blowing, and it was like I could feel God all around me. I felt so close to Him. So I sat down on my sister's front porch steps, and I started praying. I prayed for God to please hear me, please heal me, because I know that You can. I don't want to miss out on the things anymore. I was so young. God, please heal me so that I can praise You with both hands. Let me be able to finish my testimony so people can see what You've done for me. Use me, God. Please heal me. I know You can. I believe in You. I sat there and cried and prayed for a while. So then I finally looked down at my hand and I watched my fingers move. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, please don't be a dream. So then they moved again.
That's right.
They actually moved. It had been 1.5 years since they had moved. I had just witnessed the best miracle I could have asked for. So I hit my knees and I praised God for what He had done for me. I can't use my hand fully yet, but it was as if God was saying, okay, Tara, here you go. Come to me and follow me. So I show my thanks to God by sharing my story with people and telling everyone just how real God is and His miracles too. I praise God for all He has done for me, and I am waiting to see what great things He has in store for me. Sometimes I still wonder why I did have this wreck. Did it really have to be something so drastic to bring me back to God? The truth is that I'm still not sure why it happened. But that's okay, because I'm not sure that I'm supposed to know. What I do know is that things are sometimes allowed, but what I do know is that sometimes bad things are allowed to happen to good people. But I know that I'm supposed to tell my story. When God gives you a miracle, you're not supposed to keep it to yourself. You should go out and share it with others so they can also get a blessing from it. Maybe I was supposed to tell someone in this room my story, or maybe someone in here needs to hear that no matter what you're going through, there's always hope if you trust in God. Thank you.